Weird. All right, we're back. Just a few technical issues.
Okay.
Because of this guy. Technically, he's an issue.
No. I did nothing.
All right, let's just get into it. This is 193. Do you know that?
190. No, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't believe me?
I
Of
believe
course you don't. Of course you don't believe me. Why would you believe me? Now I have to check. Check, please. What are you doing? What was that sound? Are you
193?
turn your volume off?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, this is 193.
Yeah,
192 was about Treasure Island.
Let's do it.
Do you remember that podcast?
Yeah, I do.
When we talked about Treasure Island?
Yeah.
You don't remember nothing.
Yeah, I remember.
Your memory is that of Swiss cheese.
No, it's not.
Okay. You're not in a playful mood. You're like the
No,
kitten.
no,
No, it's
sorry.
fine.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
You're the kitten who just found out what happened November 2016.
What happened? Oh.
Poor kitten. But now this cat's got claws.
Speaking of, we just saw Batman Returns. Okay.
Boy,
ready.
jeez.
I'm ready.
I wish your name was Joe, because you're a real sloppy Joe today.
Okay.
Welcome to episode 193 of the All the Books Show, recorded at the David A. Howe Public Library, where we talk book news, author news, and literary news, and author interviews.
Yes. I'm
Dot,
sorry.
dot, dot.
That was an opening. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, we do author interviews. We've been very successful lately, I think.
Whoa.
No, I mean, having these great conversations.
Oh, yes, that.
Both inside the library and outside. We've had it's been really a pleasure to talk to some of these folks.
Eat your heart out, Vanity Fair.
Absolutely. This week, we got a chance to sit down with Jeff Gottesfeld, author of many things, many books, wrote for TV and other things, has a new picture book coming out, so we're going to get into that a little bit later, but we had a great chat with Jeff, and so I'm excited to let you guys hear that.
Yeah.
What have you been
Eric
up to?
Mickles.
And I'm Nic Gunning.
What have I been up to?
Yeah.
You've
been running around the exhibition room getting the teen photo
That's
show
true,
set
yes.
up.
Our teen photography show here at the library. So getting that all ready for tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight's the night.
It's always an exciting time.
I borrowed Katy Perry's cheeseburger costume for tonight.
Really?
No.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah.
That really would have been
That would have
great.
been cool. It
Oh, well.
would have been really artful.
Yeah.
Artful?
It would have.
Artistic.
Over the weekend, do you want to get into this now, the movies that we watched?
Sure. I thought we're planning to do like a whole.
Yeah, we'll
quick
dig into this
retrospective.
a little deeper. But right now, the original four, the Batman quadrilogy, as they're called, is being re-released in theaters to coincide with the new 4K.
80th anniversary of Batman
80th
as well.
anniversary of Batman and then the 4K.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Restoration?
Yeah. So far we've seen Batman, and just last night we saw Batman Returns.
Woo!
So pretty
Yeah.
exciting. We're going to talk about this once we wrap all of them. We're going to dig into that a little further.
Yeah.
But this was it was nice. It was like just my childhood, you know.
Right.
I loved Batman 89, which having rewatched it, I was like, I was too young to have watched that movie, definitely. But I loved it, and I still love it.
Okay.
All right. You want to open up the old bookmarks?
Yeah, we do.
Open up the books to the bookmarks. You often correct me, and you're often right that you don't open bookmarks.
You can't.
You can't.
I can't remember the last time I corrected you, though.
Oh, well, it happens.
All right, I'll start because...
Do it.
I read the prologue of The Consuming Fire by John Scalzi. What the heck was that?
Sorry, it was just some sparkling water.
Oh, did you bring any for everybody?
I have another one if you want.
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay, you're good.
It's fine. I want to keep reading it. I just have not opened it since. So that is not a...
Now, this is an
What?
interesting thing for me because I always associate John Scalzi with you because you introduced me to his work.
But you've never read any
I
John
know.
Scalzi.
I know that. But I always think like John Scalzi, Eric likes him, but I don't think that you actually do.
I don't really like
Yeah.
him. But he provides...
Good
a
thing we don't
very-
have John Scalzi on this
Oh,
episode.
snap.
That would be uncomfortable.
He provides a very digestible form of sci-fi. There
Is
you
that
go.
a bad thing?
No, it just means there's enough there to keep me interested and entertained, and it moves along at a breezy pace. But it's not like it's not light sci-fi, I guess.
Okay.
Like I said with the first book of this, The Collapsing Empire, it feels like it could just be a fantasy series.
Right. I remember that.
But I mean, Old Man's War I enjoyed.
Yeah.
It didn't have as much to say as Forever War or Starship Troopers.
Okay.
And no, I didn't like Red Shirts.
Yeah, I remember that.
And there was something else I read of his that I was like, no, that's okay.
You've read a lot of this man's work, because I guess it's
Not too much,
part
yeah,
of where my
but
confusion lies.
no, he's probably one of the better current, like, just he puts out a lot.
Yeah.
And the quality is pretty good for how much he actually does put out.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, if you want to talk about
Yeah.
digesting sci-fi, just wait for my bookmark because I got a big one to talk about.
Yeah, you're gonna need some roughage.
I'm I'm going to, and that was a gross joke.
Oh, really? I thought it was healthy.
It is healthy. You're right.
Eat greens.
All right, John Scalzi, what else you got?
Okay, so because of Avengers Endgame, which
yeah.
came out.
Yeah, I saw that too. I didn't mention it, but I did see it.
Yeah,
Enjoyed it.
nice.
A little slow here and there, just here and there, just here and there. Hear me
yeah,
out.
okay.
But I did enjoy it quite a bit.
Marvel Unlimited, the comic app I have.
We're familiar.
Yes. They put out like a Thanos in the Infinity Saga kind of thing. And I was going through it, and it dawned on me, I had never read the Thanos quest, which is where Thanos, written by Jim Starlin, where Thanos gets the Infinity Stones.
Yes.
I've never read this. I've only ever read the Infinity Gauntlet and then like most of the stuff that comes after that.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, this is only like 2 prestige volumes or whatever. It's going to be a quick read. I loved it.
I saw that. Yeah,
It was so good.
I wanted to ask you about this
Because Thanos in the comics is just so much more interesting.
less Josh Brolin-y, a little bit
It's not even that. In the movies, Thanos wants to take out half the universe because we're running out of resources.
Yeah.
In the comics, he's in love with death.
which is also the plot to the Dan Brown book Inferno, but without Thanos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which one? The comic one or
The comic Thanos,
is in love with death?
yeah, that's
like-
not the Dan Brown
okay,
plot.
the movie
Dan
one.
Brown plot is about cutting the population in
Right.
half.
Sure. So Thanos, he's also just so much layered and smarter in the comics. He's punchy. He'll punch the living crap out of
Yeah.
you. He'll back up his words with his fist.
Yeah.
But he outsmarts everybody. Death is not in love with him back, so it's an unrequited love.
Yeah.
Um,
Been there, Thanos. We've all been there.
and so there's just so much more to the character.
Yeah.
And
Well, I will say, I think Thanos in the movies is a little bit more like a Bond villain
Yeah.
than like
yeah.
mecha, like Marvel villain.
Yeah.
But
So I don't know. I just think comic Thanos could wipe the floor with movie Thanos.
Definitely he could. Yeah.
So the art's great. It's just a really good story. So as a Thanos fan, I enjoyed it. There was a series that came out started by Brian Wood and then taken over by some other writers, Mark Guggenheim. An X-Men series. I think this is like volume 4 of the title X-Men. But anyway, it was like 5 parts. This is when they put together an all-female X-Men team.
Oh yeah. I
So you
remember
have
that.
Storm, Jubilee, Rachel Summers, Psylocke, Monette, who goes by M a lot.
Miss Piggy, I think, was there.
No, Miss Piggy is not an X-Men. She's a Muppet.
But I mean, they're all Disney property now, so Miss Piggy could be an X-Men.
Hey.
All right.
Anyways, it started good. It had some decent stories throughout, but it never really had a strong ongoing plot throughout all of it. So the concept was cool, and it's never like meant. No one's ever like we're the X ladies or anything. It's just the book, and they're just all there together. So it's fun. But yeah,
Okay.
a little disappointing in the end.
No, that's too bad.
So
But Thanos, what is it? Thanos Quest?
Thanos Quest,
That's
yeah.
off the
That was
charts.
a 5-star
That's
for
good.
me.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. That's rare.
I mean, Infinity Gauntlet is great.
Yeah.
Infinity Crusade is pretty good.
Yeah, I've read
Infinity
those.
War is pretty good. Marvel: The End is also good.
I haven't read it.
Thanos basically becomes God
Look
and
out.
like just wipes the floor with eternity and all these other beings.
Look out.
Basically, this is really getting into stuff. But in the like early
No one asked for this,
early
but-
2000s, Joe Quesada had taken over the Marvel Comics lines. He was now the editor-in-chief, and he wanted dead to mean dead in the comics because comic books are constantly
That's true.
heroes dying and then they coming back.
Don't
And
tell that to Uncle Ben.
yeah, well, that didn't happen. So he wanted dead to mean dead. And so Jim Starlin wrote a Thanos story where Thanos becomes like everything and death and everything.
Right.
And so he basically destroys the Marvel Universe, just annihilates it, and then brings it back. And one of the rules that came up was that death was more permanent. And so after that, characters, if they died, they stayed dead longer.
Right.
they
a little
didn't-
longer.
yeah.
A little longer.
So until that like policy was lifted, a lot of characters were just out for a while.
Yeah.
Which is why, I mean, Jean Grey, she died during Grant Morrison's run in the X-Men again, but then she didn't come back until last year or something.
Well, Barry Allen on the DC side of things was gone for like 20 years.
Okay, I wasn't talking about DC.
Well, if you were.
So anyways, Thanos.
Okay.
I give him a thumbs up.
So that's it for you. That's your bookmark?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Here are a few things that I read. And
Okay.
it was only a few because
Are you drunk uncle right now?
Am I?
You were just like, here are some things I've read.
Well,
The menu on the refrigerator.
It's supposed to be just sparkling water. But
Okay.
I'll stick with comics for a minute. I read Superman Wonder Woman Savage End,
Ooh.
which is pretty much the last thing in New 52 that I will read. It was basically a big annual with Superman and Wonder Woman that was good, and the rest of it was
And then they break up?
The rest of it was things that I already read, so whatever.
All breakups are pretty savage.
You're right. And, boy, I finished Battlefield Earth
Oh, my goodness.
by L. Ron Hubbard. All
Jeez.
1,000 pages
Oh,
of
my
it.
gosh.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Look at that thing.
For the video. Here, take a look at
Yeah,
that, you guys.
that's gross.
That's a brick.
No, it's not gross. That's
a brick.
impressive.
Wow. I know so we're going to talk about this a little bit. We're going to go a little bit more in depth with Battlestar Galactica. Sorry.
Oh,
Battlefield Earth.
My
down the
word.
road.
No.
Interesting point, though. Battlestar Galactica has the complete opposite. No, it has the same problem. They both start good, and by the end, you're like, really?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing?
Yeah. Sorry.
So here's my quick, 2-second
What
review.
does it say? The Saga of the Year 3000.
Saga of the Year 3000. Yeah, set in the year 3000. So here's my quick 2-cent review of Battlefield Earth. Okay. The first, I want to say, 450 pages of this book are pretty rock solid. They're pretty fun. Okay. You've got, the big evil aliens who are kind of strip mining Earth.
Right.
And then you got a plucky hero who comes out of his village and is like, wait a minute. And there's
Right.
kind of a battle of the wills between these two characters, which is really interesting. It's very good. It's interesting to follow. It's written in a very pulpy way, and we're going to say that that's intentional and not just that it was clumsy. But if you kind of roll with that, it works.
Right.
Then there's a big paradigm shift right in the middle, and it never quite recaptures what it had before.
The magic, sure.
You know what I mean? It becomes a lot more like a political thing.
Oh.
There's so many different factions and so many different factors going on that it's just sort of like, this is not as dynamic as the beginning. There's literally 100 pages on the banking system.
Oh.
So by the end, it was kind of like... First half, probably 4 stars because I was all in.
Right.
Second half, probably 2 stars because it's not that interesting.
Right.
So, I think in the end, if you're a sci-fi fan and the page count doesn't scare you, because it does move quickly, even the boring sections, I think it's written in a way that moves pretty quickly.
Okay.
I think it's worth picking up.
Okay. You know what?
It's worth a read.
You know what I find interesting?
What?
The Amazon cover online. You have the big scary guy with the mask, and then the the blonde guy who looks like Conan.
Okay.
And then you have a girl, and she's shrouded in smoke. But on the book cover that you're holding, it's just her bikini bottom.
Oh, there's no smoke.
There's no smoke hiding. So Amazon's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same cover.
Oh,
so
I see.
You'd buy the Amazon book off this site,
Yeah,
like,
you'd be
oh,
like,
this
oh,
is okay. And then you
surprise.
you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So actually,
I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. That's
hold on. She's the bikini bottom is all she's wearing.
Okay.
I'm now
All right.
noticing she
All
is
right.
a naked lady on the cover.
Anyway,
And Amazon decided to go with this smoke cover.
Amazon chose smoke.
So
anyway, I do think that it's worth a read, especially if you're a sci-fi fan like yourself.
I am a sci-fi fan.
I think you might dig it.
Yeah. Well, I also
anyway.
dig strategically placed smoke
I know
on
you do.
covers. So
Battlefield Earth.
Right.
I'm gonna give it a 3-star, 3 out of 5.
Wow.
Because it's saying something. 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
And it kept my interest even when I was like, I was still kind of like, but I want to see how this plays
Sure.
out. So
Okay.
anyway, that's that. Those are the 2 things that I read, and then I finished Battlefield Earth on my lunch break, so I haven't started anything new.
Right.
So I'm only reading a graphic novel called Titan's Hunt, which is pretty good.
Okay. DC Comics.
It's where the Titans are noticing that things have changed in the world. They're
sure.
trying to figure out what's going on. That's it for me.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
You want to look at some New York Times bestsellers?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's dive
Let's
in.
just do that
Let's do
already.
it. Why not?
Quit wasting time and taking names. That's a different. You don't say that.
That's not the phrase at all.
I'm quoting a Twitter joke I saw.
Don't.
Okay.
It's always a mistake.
I came here to do 2 things.
Okay, go ahead.
Kick butt and quote Air Supply.
Yeah.
and I'm all out of love.
Yeah.
I'm so lost without you.
I mean, that's funny.
Yeah.
It is funny.
Okay. Shout out to whoever did that on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I've used that many times.
Yeah, you have.
All right. On the New York Times bestsellers list for adult hardcover fiction, the hardest of covers, actually. I think they're making them out of concrete now.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Much
That
better
is
than what
hard.
they've done before.
I feel like we haven't done this in a while, so I'm kind of curious to see.
I think we did this last week.
Did we?
Maybe.
Maybe they just weren't interesting to me last week.
Oh,
It's been a while since I've been interested in it. How about
Okay.
that?
All right. Don't listen to Nick's lack of interest. Imagine, if you
Well,
will, that
It's fine if you want to.
that he's actually scared to love this list as much as he truly does. So he's afraid this list will hurt him again.
Yeah.
All right. Number 10 on the list is called Machines Like Me. In an alternate 1980s London, a love triangle develops between a couple and a synthetic human.
Oh, my.
This is Machines Like Me by Anne McEwen. So,
Well, that's interesting.
is it?
A little.
We didn't get synthetic androids in our 1980s.
Okay.
So,
You're right.
would you be afraid of a synthetic android?
Definitely.
Be careful, they're listening.
Yeah, I would. I have a respectful fear of them.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. You also fear how much you love them.
Yeah.
Okay, just trying to protect you from Siri and Google when they take over.
Yeah.
Number 9, back up on the top 10 list, probably because the show is airing its last season at the moment, Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin.
Oh, yeah.
The first volume of the 2-part history of the Targaryens in Westeros.
Now, there is a Starbucks cup in this book, or how does that?
No, I guess one of the shots in the episode I just watched had a Starbucks cup, but
So
I missed it.
that's not true to the book.
Right, no,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think
So
there's
that was
there's
added-
no Westeros Starbucks
That was
in
added
the
for the
books.
TV series.
Yeah, yeah, when you adapt something from book
No,
to
I know,
screen, you have to make it accessible
You lose
to
some things.
Yes.
You have to add some things
Yep.
to make it. Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
get it. I totally get it. I just wondered if that was from the. But I understand.
Yeah. You know what's funny about
I hope you should tell
on
me.
Game of Thrones? They just had a big battle, and everybody was complaining that it was too dark to see. But I'm
Yeah.
like, it's a nighttime battle.
Yeah.
When winter has come in a world without a moon, fighting an Ice King.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much light people
know.
thought was going to be on.
Yeah. I read actually it was originally shot much lighter, and they had to add a darkening effect because the ground was littered with Starbucks cups. They were everywhere.
All right.
So they were like, we got to darken this up.
Yeah. Number 8, The Silent Patient by Alex McKillides. Theo Faber looks into the mystery of a famous painter who stopped speaking after shooting her husband. Yeah. Turns out she's always just been very quiet
Yeah,
in
I
general.
guess so. I guess
she-
so.
the biggest change here is that she just murdered her husband. Hey, you pronounced this author's name differently for me last week. Someone Knows by Lisa
Scottolini?
Scottolini.
Uh-huh.
A dark secret emerges when Allie Garver returns home to attend a childhood friend's funeral.
Well, that'd be sad.
Yeah, this is a sequel. No, wait.
It's a downer.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm impressed that you knew that.
Number 6, Normal People by Sally Rooney. The connection between a high school star athlete and a loner ebbs and flows when they go to Trinity College in Dublin. Yeah. We had a lot of questions. I had a lot of questions about this last
Did
week.
you?
Yeah.
Did you get any answers? Did you read it?
No, I didn't read it.
Oh, okay.
So, this one. Number 5 on the New York Times bestsellers list for hardcover adult fiction.
I am intrigued by your intro to this one already.
War of the Spark Ravnica by Greg Weisman.
What?
The first book in the Magic the Gathering War of the Spark series.
Oh.
Nicol Bolas, the Elder Dragon, attacks the city of Ravnica. I don't know how did this get on the top 10. That's interesting.
There's a lot of nerds out there.
Hey.
I know. I always hate when people do that.
Yeah.
I withdraw
And then
that.
you did it.
I withdraw that comment.
Nick's a
I withdraw
bully.
that comment.
I liked Magic.
But no, I mean, I do have a question about this because
Yeah.
there are lots of Magic the Gathering books.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess so, but
I mean, they're paperbacks and things.
yeah.
So why?
I
I
don't
wonder,
know.
like, why now it's like getting a lot of.
Well,
I guess I
Star
kinda-
Wars was just on the list too.
No, I know, but I guess I sort of thought Magic had kind of was over its hump of popularity. Is it not?
No.
Is it still right up
No,
top? Okay.
I almost feel like Magic's
Well, what do I
as popular as it's ever been.
Okay.
So there was a big cheating scandal recently. Somebody had
Really?
like dented the corners of their cards, and it had been
nice.
very minuscule, but
Yeah.
people saw them and there were pictures of them all zoomed in and everything.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah. Number 4, Lost Roses by Martha Hall Kelly. In 1914, a New York socialite, Eliza Faraday, works to help white Russian families escape from the revolution. Remember last week when I said that whole thing about Faraday from the comics, and you're like,
Yes,
who is that?
I had to look it up.
Yeah, that was painful.
I do know now.
Let's not relive it.
I would.
Number 3, Redemption by David Baldacci, the 5th book in the Memory Man series. The first man, Amos What? The first man Amos Deckers puts behind bars asked to have his name cleared. Sometimes sentences start out in a way that
They
confuses
do. You
me.
don't know.
I thought Amos Decker was the first man.
The first man. No, he's
So,
not.
Yeah, and then I was trying to figure
I
out.
believe that was Adam.
So this is the first man he put behind bars, and he wants his name cleared
Name
by the
cleared.
memory man.
Memory man.
Yeah. So
I do remember this because I didn't have kind words to say about Baldacci last week.
Yeah, and he remembered.
I know.
Amos Decker does,
I
anyways.
clean it up.
Neon Prey is at number 2 by John Sandford,
Yeah.
the 29th book in the Prey series. Lucas Davenport goes after a serial killer. There you go.
These books are rough, let me tell you.
Yeah?
There's a little too much. A little too much for this guy.
Too much what?
They're just kind of grisly. I don't know. I don't like them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right, well, number 1 is Delia Owens. Delia? Boy,
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah.
been saying this name for how many weeks now?
Yeah.
According to this, 34 weeks I've been saying Delia Owens, and I can't get it right.
I think it's been longer because I think it dropped off for a while and then it resurged.
Well, Where the Crawdads Sing is at number 1. The Reese, I can't say Reese either.
You said it.
Oh, okay.
You
Reese
got there.
Witherspoon's book club pick. A woman who survived alone in the marsh becomes a murder suspect. I can't speak on this book myself, but again, my wife read it and loved it.
Yeah, and actually, it's impossible to. I mean, it's so many holds
Yes,
on it.
she was
so
on the list for a long time.
Yes. So we also have an audiobook copy now. So if you're local or a part of the STLS library system, you can put hold on it and we'll send it your way. Because the digital copy of that is like, forget it.
Also, if you're like in California, you can just go to your
You
local
can go to your
library.
own library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, if they have to do interlibrary loan, there's a chance you get our copy.
Yeah, it's true.
Who
It's
knows?
possible. It's possible. You know what I will say about Battlefield Earth?
Uh-huh.
Very pro libraries in the book.
Okay.
Yeah, big part of it.
Nice.
Big part of it discovering old
Yeah.
libraries.
You know what other thing is big into libraries?
What?
The Day After Tomorrow. That
That's
Dennis
true.
Quaid movie where
The
they
Dennis
hide out in
Quaid. They hide out in the library.
Jake Gyllenhaal. And
Here's what always cracks me up about that. Okay.
it's bad.
It is bad. It is bad.
Uh-huh.
But they're trapped in the library, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're trying to like survive, and they have this big dilemma: like, what kind of books do we burn?
Mm-hmm.
Do we burn tax law, or do we burn like smutty romances? There's this whole conversation, and I'm like, people, you are surrounded by heavy oak furniture. I don't think the pages from the paperback book.
Yeah.
But that's only one thing.
Yeah.
Also, wolves are on a Russian ship that crash into the harbor,
Yes.
and then wolves are just loose in
Yep.
New York City. So,
Yeah.
you know. But one time, Dennis Quaid falls into a Wendy's. So
that's true.
anyway,
Yeah.
so this has been brought to you by The Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah. Libraries also have newspapers and magazines.
Yeah, that's true.
You can just burn those.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, don't.
Paper does not burn very long.
No,
and
yeah,
it
you
doesn't
gotta use it
burn
as
very
kindling.
hot. But
Yeah.
Anyway,
Tax returns, though. Those do the tax law books. They'll
Tax
burn
law.
for a while.
They will.
Depending on the hardcover.
they'll come back. They'll
Yeah.
come back for more as well. Did we finish the New York Times bestseller list?
We just
Delia
did.
Owens
Delia Owens
made it to
Where
the
the
top.
Crawdads Sing.
Oh, you know what that means? It's spotlight time. Boom.
You just, yeah. Thank you, Ben. Ben Lehman, musician extraordinaire.
That's the most haunting of our themes, I think. It's a little spooky.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
little spooky if I'm
yeah.
being honest. All right, well, as we mentioned at the top of the show, this week we were fortunate to sit down and have a chat with Jeff Gottesfeld. So if you're not familiar with Jeff's work, let me give you
Watch
a
the
little...
first season of Smallville.
Absolutely. He was a staff writer for Smallville in the first season.
I like the first season of Smallville because it is very freak of the week, but it has no idea what show it's going to become.
Yeah.
So it's a strange little piece of like, I don't know, it's a time capsule of the CW of like, what are we going to do for a Superman show? And it's just kind of Buffy meets Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And actually, we'll get into that a little bit on the tail end of the interview. I couldn't let him get away without talking to me about Smallville for a little bit. But anyway, Jeff Gottesfeld is a screenwriter, a playwright, and author of many books, several works on Anne Frank. One of them here, The Tree in the Courtyard, is excellent picture book. Many things in our collection here and throughout our STLS collection as well. So if you're looking for his work, we can certainly set you up for that. We were talking mostly this time about his new historical picture book that's coming out, No Steps Behind, An Immigrant's Battle for Women's Rights, written by Jeff Gottesfeld, illustrated by Sheila Wintanto. I really enjoyed reading that. So it's not out for a while. We'll have it when it comes out. But I think we'll let Jeff tell us about it himself. And now for those of you who are on the video, you're not going to hear the interview, right? We're not going to play the
No,
interview
you
right
can
now.
go listen to the podcast, though.
You can go listen to the podcast. So go soundcloud.com/allthebooks or anywhere you find your podcast. Find episode 193. Listen to the interview because it really was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about his, just his whole history, really. I mean, we talked about The Tree in the Courtyard here, which, again, excellent.
Yeah.
We talked about his junior series that he wrote,
Mm-hmm.
kind of for that middle age where you're over the picture books, but you're not
Right.
quite ready for the big chapter books.
Yeah.
He has a whole series of those.
Mm-hmm.
The Cat Whisperer. What's the one you read?
Whisper.
Too Many Dogs.
Too Many Dogs.
So several like that. So we talked about those a little
Yeah.
bit. We talked a lot about the new book, which just is a fascinating historical story about this woman who worked hard for women's rights. It's great, and the illustrations are excellent. So obviously we can't show you those now, but when the picture book comes out, you'll see. And then at the tail end, I went in for some Smallville questions because
Smallville books and show.
he and his writing partner Cherie Bennett wrote for the first series. They're the credited lead authors on Jitters, I think it was.
Okay.
And
the shaky girl.
yes, and they wrote 5 or 6
Yeah.
Smallville novels, a couple right here in the front here. My favorite, the one that I asked him about the most, is this one called Speed. And it's interesting because it's
Pete
all about...
starts a Fast and Furious road racing thing in Smallville.
No, it deals with like race relations, which is nothing that like Smallville would even come close to touching.
No.
So it was interesting to see, these characters that we like really dig into that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go on to read more of Jeff's work, I think that's something that he's very passionate about, and it comes through in a lot of his writing. So it was neat that he was able to bring that. Bring things that he's passionate about and push them through into this Smallville novel. And as he says in the interview, they were able to be a lot more flexible with what they could do in the novels. So they really got to kind of stretch those characters and the premises. So overall, it was a great conversation. He was pretty giving with his time, and we just had a good time chatting back and forth.
Yeah.
It was one of the more stressful interviews we've done because only one of us could hear at a time. So we had to keep passing back and forth. So that was a little stressful, but I think the end result was great, and we're certainly appreciative of Jeff for doing that.
Sure were.
So again, you can find that at soundcloud.com/allthebooks, episode 193, with the interview with Jeff Gottesfeld.
All right. And we're back.
We are. Thanks again, Jeff, for taking the time to sit down and talk to us. You can find Jeff online at jeffgottesfeldwriter.com. Of course, he has a Wikipedia page. It has a lot of useful information on there. As I said, many of the books that he's written are in our collection, or we can get them for you through some of our partner libraries. The new book coming out later in the year, we're certainly looking forward to that. It was a good read, excellent illustrations, and just a really fascinating topic. I mean, it's just a story that I knew absolutely nothing about.
Yeah.
And when you consider its importance, that's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
That, never has that.
Well, you're quite ignorant.
Huh. Do you think that's why?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Listen, I didn't know about it either.
I know. But it really is. I mean, it's a fascinating story.
Yeah.
So dig into that a little bit more if you're interested, and we'll have the book as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
Let's talk library news.
Oh, my goodness.
What do you got coming up? You can finally rest easy now that the teen photo show is over.
That's true. But now we got to start revving up for the summer reading program,
but
which is a little. What?
We all got our matching T-shirts.
That's true. We got matching T-shirts.
It's going to be T-shirt day Friday here in the library. Eric's real excited.
Yeah, we have our kids hang out on Tuesdays at 4. We have our teen night on Wednesdays at 5:30. Tomorrow we're showing Dragon Ball Super Broly, and then next week we're watching My Hero Academia 2 Heroes, or whatever that movie's called.
Okay.
So the kids were excited. I mean, they mostly play Smash Brothers now.
Yeah.
So Smash Brothers has their heart
Good stuff.
and soul.
Never got into that game.
Smash Brothers? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, man.
In the auditorium this week, Thursday the 9th, we have a duo called Crimson. They were here last week, and they were excellent. And it was.
Did you mean last week?
No, I meant last year.
There you go.
They were here last year, and it was excellent. But
Yeah.
It was like a bad weather night. We had a low turnout, and so it was a shame that more
Wasn't
people
it a lot
didn't
of
get to hear
snow?
'em. Yeah, because they were excellent.
Because
So
we live in Narnia.
We got them right back on the calendar,
Yeah.
so they're here again. So come and see Crimson, 7 o'clock in the auditorium on the 9th.
Yeah.
Our senior matinee this month is Inspector Clouseau, which is one of the Pink Panther films.
Yay.
This one's starring Alan Arkin, whom I love. So check that out on the 28th.
Yeah.
At 2:30.
Don't make up things.
All right.
All right.
The book club is currently reading Neuromancer by William Gibson,
William Gibson.
which Eric has read before. Didn't like it.
I didn't like it,
He's
but I
hoping
think
second time's a
I think
charm.
I was in a bad, not in the right headspace for it. So
Listen.
I'm looking forward to getting into it now.
It's got to be better than Artemis.
Yes, it is.
That book was a turd.
Oh, snap.
Sorry.
Well, on Goodreads, I think I gave it like 2 stars.
Did you?
I'm hoping to bring it up to at least 3.
Oh, Neuromancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see.
You were just too young when you read it, or you just?
Well, it was only like 5 years ago. But no,
Yeah, it
I
was a
think
different time.
I think I had a different idea of what I was going to be reading, and then I was just not in it. And it was a weird time in life too. So I think I just wasn't committed to it.
Okay.
So I'm going to do it this time.
Well, we're looking forward to that, and then after that, we just have one more in this cycle. We're going to be doing Leviathan Wakes after that. So if you're a fan of the Sci-Fi Book Club, come join us, and we'll hope to continue that on in future years.
Yeah, or share your thoughts on these books with us on Twitter and or Facebook.
Yep.
So we're All the Book Show on Twitter.
David A. Howe Public Library on Facebook. You can email us at wellsville@stls.org.
Yeah.
And take a moment to write a quick review. It helps people find out about the podcast.
That's true. You can share and subscribe to us, basically SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play Music, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast, really.
Blockbuster Video, I think, has us.
No, we tried.
Oh.
We tried to get Blockbuster Video, but
okay.
it turns out they're gone.
Oh, I don't think you mean gone.
Yes. Yeah, actually. Blockbuster's gone.
The video chain Blockbuster.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, every Friday night it was a huge line, so I doubt that.
Quick question. When was the last every Friday night for you?
I don't get there very often. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you and the rest of America.
I mean, why would you? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, sure.
So anyway. So you can't find us on Blockbuster, apparently, but you can find us everywhere else.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Our thanks once again to our author interview this week, Jeff Gottesfeld. Looking forward to the new picture book. We'll keep our listeners posted on when that comes out. We'll have a copy here in the library. Thanks again, Jeff. Eric, as always, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
And Twitch, do you want to talk about Recore?
I have been playing Recore, everyone.
Yeah.
Do you think they care about my video games?
Yeah, people watching this on YouTube like, oh, when's Nick going to give us that secret video game review that he does only for YouTube?
Yeah, I have been playing Recore, which is pretty good. I really like it. It's kind of you're sort of scavenging and putting things back together, so it's kind of part puzzle game, part shooter, but it's all like lasers and robots, so I can play with my son without feeling like he's being damaged.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. My wife and I both played a little bit of it. And, of course, Overcooked 2. We're in the pickup right now.
Overcooked 2.
So that's the hipness that I have.
Right.
Recore, which is a redo of an old game, right?
No, I mean, Recore, I don't know.
Oh, I thought that's what you said.
I mean, it's Recore, and then they did they upgraded it.
So it's like a Recore upgrade.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Well, you're not fun to talk to.
Wow.
Just kidding. What are you playing right now?
I'm still playing Valkyrie Chronicles. I'm not a fan of the gameplay as much as I should be, but the story's fun.
Okay.
It's very anime. It's if you want to know what World War II and the Holocaust would look like through anime, you could play Valkyrie Chronicles or watch the anime itself.
I think I'm good.
It's just every now and then they're like, oh no, what's that siren? We were having a fun little picnic. It's like, well, the siren is World War II.
Yep.
So, and sometimes they're like, oh, we get a beach day.
Yeah.
Like, you get a volleyball day.
Yeah.
And then, like, the next episode, they're like, all these people are being tortured because of their race. It's just like, yeah, this is okay.
Okay.
I'm enjoying the story, but yeah, the gameplay has some issues, and I thought maybe I would check out one of the later games in this series afterwards, because I think like these things would be fixed, but they don't fix these things at all. So I think I'm done after this one.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, that's all right.
And they can find you online. Your screen name is what? Pizza Daddy 85.
Pizza Daddy 85.
Big Daddy 85.
Yeah.
Boss Hog 85.
Yeah, Pizza Daddy 85. You can find us at Twitter at On the Book Show.
You didn't say your real screen name.
No, it's Pizza Daddy now.
Oh, it is a Pizza Daddy 85.
It's Dusk versus Tweak everywhere.
All right.
Everywhere.
Even Blockbuster.
No. Ooh. Yeah, I would have had that email when I set up.
Well,
did you have to give emails to get a Blockbuster account?
They didn't have emails when Blockbuster was around.
Yes, they did. Man, I used to have. I mean, it's kind of sad because I was like living alone, and so I was alone.
Yeah.
But I would, like, on Fridays when I didn't have work, I would walk down the street to a local restaurant called Giovanni's, order my chicken finger and French fry dinner, which was so filling and so good, and also came with a salad. And while that was cooking, I went over to Blockbuster, and I would just walk around looking for what I was going to watch.
Pretty good.
And then
did you have an old standby? I'll just rent this again. Did you do that?
No.
Oh, really?
No. Usually those are the movies I own.
I had 3.
Oh, wow.
They were
Austin Powers.
No. The Three Amigos. Clue.
Okay.
And Mystery Science Theater, the movie.
Oh, all right.
That was the only Mystery Science Theater I'd seen for like a while, because that was the only one that was really like commercially available.
Right.
And then I started watching them Saturday mornings on the Sci-Fi Channel. But
okay. My more successful rentings of those times would have been like Blood Diamond and The Departed.
Why are those successful?
Just because they were movies, I was just like, I'll just watch this, and they were really good.
You liked them.
and
You
really
ended up
satisfying.
liking them.
That's how I ended up watching Rome,
Yeah.
HBO's Rome.
Oh, sure.
Has spent a lot of money renting that
Yeah.
until I realized that the library had both seasons.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll just finish Rome over there.
Did you know that the fate of Rome, the HBO show Rome, is the main reason why The Walking Dead ended up on AMC and not HBO?
No.
Because Robert Kirkman was like, they just cancel shows, and AMC wants to do it. And so he turned down HBO and went to AMC.
Snap.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, now The Walking Dead is kind of, I think a lot of people are over it.
Yeah. It's
So.
been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
It's a regular blockbuster these days. I know nothing about The Walking Dead. But
Or Blockbuster. No.
or Blockbuster. All right. Well, that's going to do it. Do you want to will it embarrass you if I mention your other podcast? I know you weren't.
I have so many.
Go
now.
ahead. I think you should.
Oh my gosh. All right. I started a radio. I didn't start a radio.
Yeah.
I started a podcast network
Yeah, you
called
did.
radiomeanwhile.com. And we have, my wife's podcast,
Yeah.
Nostalgia Me This, is included in that now. But we have also started the podcast, Is It Classic, Does It Rock? Which is a classic rock podcast where we go through an artist or band and we go through their albums, album by album, track by track.
Yeah.
And
let me tell you. First of all, his co-host on that, Sam, what's his name?
Sam Cobb.
Sam Cobb. I like him a lot.
Thanks,
I think
man.
he's cool. He seems knowledgeable. Here's what I don't like that I've learned from your podcast.
Cream?
Cream.
Yeah.
They're focusing on the discography of Cream right now,
Yeah.
and I've never really listened to Cream, and I've
Yeah.
never been a big Clapton fan. And so I was like, oh, here's my chance. So I listened to
Yeah.
the album on YouTube a couple of times,
Yeah.
and was like, oh, this isn't doing it.
Yeah.
Then I listened to the episodes,
Uh-huh.
and was like, yeah, I don't like Cream. This is it. This is real.
Yeah. And then we started a podcast called Three Nice Things where we watch bad movies and then three of us have to come up with three nice things to say about them.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
We've covered Super Mario Brothers and
Spreads
Johnny Mnemonic.
positivity.
Yeah. Yeah. A little sunlight into the world of Johnny Mnemonic.
Yep.
And it's not out yet because we're only starting it, but we're also starting a show called Previously on XMen with me and...
Hillary Gunning.
Yeah.
Past guest of this very podcast.
That's true. Yeah.
She's appeared
Future
on our,
guest.
That's true. Is she?
Yeah. DC Icons.
That's right. DC
Yeah.
Icons. Yeah, that's right. Hillary's been on this podcast for our Wonder Woman Spotlight
Captain Marvel.
and our Captain Marvel, which are two of our biggest episodes.
That's true.
So
So
what you
either
can do.
either Hillary's bringing an audience that
Yeah.
we just haven't tapped into yet,
Yeah,
or
the Hillary factor. We call it.
factor, sure. Yeah, so that's it. So you can find all those at radiomeanwhile.com or
If
wherever
you're
you
still
get your
making
podcasts.
podcasts, the Hillary factors are pretty good title.
That's
so we'll workshop what that's
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
but
sure.
I think the Hillary factor
yeah.
would be.
Well, you and I talked about just doing a carpool podcast.
Yeah.
So you could just put like a little camera /
Yeah.
recorder on Hillary's dashboard
Yeah.
whenever she's driving, and she just
Yeah.
talks about whatever's on the radio or she's going around.
I think it'd be great.
Hillary factor.
I would listen to it.
Oh, well, you're married to her,
Well, I know that.
so that's your life.
But
You're
I would-
living the
but I
Hillary
would-
factor.
And there's a tagline right there. Oh my gosh. All right. Check out Eric's mini podcast.
All right,
and we'll
bye,
see you
everybody.
next time.